Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart, joined by Vegas runner at Greek_Gambler and Teddy Covers at Teddy_Covers. Make sure you're giving both of them a follow on Twitter. And Dave Koken walks in
the house
and just, ruins the whole video. Yes.
There was no red light on. I know.
Oh, good grief. All right, let's talk about Super Bowl props. This is quickly becoming, I think, people's favorite thing to bet on the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
It's 60% of the handle and or more. So, Teddy, I'm going to start with you. Give some tips when betting Super Bowl props.
Well, you want to find correlations that you can get away with, and generally that's going to have a lot to do with your opinion of how the game is going to play out. If you think the Rams are going to have the lead, you may want to think about Goff under or Brady over with passing yards, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, there's 1,000 different correlations based on how you're expecting the game. So that would be the number one thing that I would recommend for bettors. The other thing that I would say, for God's sakes, it's not about betting a little to win a lot. And everyone's going to take, will there be a safety? Will there be overtime? All these plus 600s that should be priced at plus 1,500, and they're getting the worst of it. And there are ways to get at trying to bet a little to win a lot. But the standard, will there be OT, will there be safety, it's garbage. That being said, the concept of, it's super sharp to lay 10-1 on there won't be a safety, no. That's
We've seen it before. We've seen it too many times.
You read that Barnwell column on ESPN where he's whining and moaning that he laid 1,300 and no safety 2 years? I'm like, A, you should have shopped around for the price, and B, it's a dumb bet to make. It's not like all the wise guys are like, let me risk 13 to win one every time.
Listen, I'm never laying, I'm barely even laying 2 to 1, let alone 13 to 1.
Sure.
So you're absolutely right. Make smarter bets.
Yes.
All right, VR, tips for some of our viewers.
Yeah, personally, I try not to let it really affect me based on what I like in the game, only because things can snowball quickly. Like if you're way off, if every bet is towards because you think the game's going to go over, and you bet first half over, you bet team totals over, you know what I mean? You bet the game over, then you start betting all these player props over, and the Super Bowl ends, 7-3.
It's a bad day for you.
Yeah, it's not a good day. So, because if you love the over that much, forget all those, little bets. Just unload on the over. Make it simple. There's no reason to make it harder than it needs to be. But with that said, I also think what you guys touched on about chasing that, put up little money to win a lot, you got to be cautious, especially when there's sharp money the other way, when these lines move significantly. And that's what we saw as soon as these props went up. Because I could tell you for certainty, the guys that win long-term betting the Super Bowl, they're unloading on props. 90% of their money bet is going to be on the props because of the advantage. And
because they can find value in a package.
Nothing reflects that more. Perfect example, the guys that I provide accounts for, they bet Gurley under in yards, okay? They bet on the first accounts they bet him under 127.5. Then another group piggybacked them. They went under 125. Now it's 113. These guys moved it 10, 11, 12 yards with a couple limit bets. So it shows you the lack of confidence that the books have in their number, willing to move it that much.
Right.
And more importantly, when they know they're going to get enough money the other way by the time the game kicks off. The public's going to bet Gurley over. You know what I mean? But they're so afraid of that money because it does really well in props. But more times than not, the book ends up needing the same sides as these guys are on because they're not afraid to bet the nose and the minuses. Like you said, they're not chasing down minus 1,300s. They're going to find a minus 800 if they want a bet like that. But it's not one where they're making every time. I'll tell you one real quickly that they make every time, at least since I've been doing it, it's been a while, is the player touchdowns. A quick secret, I'm probably going to ruin the market for this forever and get death threats.
I just get on my phone right now.
We bet no on every player whether he's going to score a touchdown.
Really?
Every single guy, no, blindly. Every year.
Okay.
Every player, no. That's a bet. We've already bet no.
Sure, it's a positive expectation.
Every single player.
All right, Teddy, let's talk about some of the prop bets you are on personally or will be on for the Super Bowl.
Sure, specific props. Look, you want a long shot? You want a chance to make,
I love the long shots.
Sure. Well, MVP is a good way to look for a long shot, right?
Yeah.
We like the Rams for the game. Aaron Donald sitting at 20.
Bet it at 25 to 1 already.
Nice.
Let's
Good.
go,
Yeah, exactly.
Teddy.
But again, shop around. That line's moving. And then, of course, you throw a little Goff in there, if you like the Rams. Instead of 2 to 1. Instead of taking Rams money line, maybe take Goff. with a little bit of Donald, and there you go. That's a maybe better way to get out that particular wager. We like these coaches, right? Two bright coaches. Well, what does that mean? We expect the fourth down conversions or the fourth down attempts. Certainly, will there be a 2-point attempt? That was plus 145 at the open.
And now it's already been bet down to almost even money.
Of course. That's one, if it wasn't in your pocket, it should be in your pocket. And even money, it's not a horrific wager to make. When you said 90% of the wise guy bankroll is on props, I'll take the over 90%.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And that's if they have a position on the game.
Sure.
A lot of years, they don't even have a position on the game.
Exactly. This is a Ralph Michaels special, longest touchdown under 1.5 yards. Every year, the over, no. The under's cash, 5 of the last 6.
Yeah, you're 4th and 1 on the goal line.
It doesn't matter. Pass interference in the end zone. Guess where we get the ball?
Yeah, 1 yard line.
That's one Brian Leonard was talking about that is real smart. First turnover, interception versus fumble. You go, this is why. What do you mean? Interceptions minus, the fumbles plus. They're even. No, they're not even, because a fumble, your team can recover. An interception, the other team always recovers. And, of course, Brady threw 3 picks last time, one called back. Do we trust Goff not to throw a pick? No, not necessarily. So I like first turnover of the game to be an interception, even with the minus 150 price.
All right,
and also, real quickly, you're also, when they ask, what are the wise guys on the side, there's always going to be on both sides of big games like this.
The wise guys.
Where there's going to be a group that takes the Rams plus 1.5 when it opened, and another one that pushes it up, why the Patriots are now 2.5. That laid the pick 'em early. But as far as props, the ones that I liked myself that also correlate to that first half under, more points in the second half than the first half. It was minus 140. Now it's minus half a point. More points in the second half in OT than the first half. And also, no score the first 5.5 minutes, also minus 140. Those correlate with the under in the first half. Now, the guys that I provide accounts for, 2 that they bet in every single one, that Edelman has a rushing attempt. They took him from plus 110 all the way to minus 110. Edelman has a rushing attempt. And also, over 2.5 players have a pass attempt. They took that from plus 110 to minus 110 also. So those are definite steam. Edelman,
I'll
yes.
let Teddy finish.
Over 2.5.
Just real quick, because you talked about the 5.5 minutes. No score the first 5.5 minutes of the game. Depending on what book you're at, you're going to find different numbers. 5.5 versus 6 versus 6.5. You give out minus 140 on the 5.5. Even at 6.5 at plus 130, that's not a bad bet to make either. Remember, the Patriots got the opening kick each of the first 2 playoff games, marched down the field in the end zone.
Yeah.
And the no score first 6.5 minutes cast in both of those ball games, despite an opening drive touchdown.
All right, great information from both guys. Fan of Super Bowl props, but you're not in Vegas for the big game, hosting a Super Bowl party, maybe looking for a cool idea to entertain everyone. Here at WagerTalk, we have you covered with our Super Bowl 53 party prop sheet. We'll have the link to get your free copy in the comments section.